All right. Here we are. Part 2 of the first Israelites. Let's just get a look at this map right here so we know where we are. Here's Egypt, where the Israelites will become slaves. Right here. Here's the Nile River. They will go east across the Red Sea. Moses will lead them across the Red Sea and to wander for 40 years in here and then end up in Canaan. That is right. All right, so let's have a little fun here. Check this out. Here's a song I found. Look what it says here. Egypt was once my home. I was a slave. Helpless and sin did roam. Love light did crave. But when I looked up to heaven's dome, Christ came to save. I'm living in Canaan now. So people have been singing about Canaan for a long time. Look, I was a slave in Egypt. Now I'm living in Canaan again. Very good. All right. Let's have a little fun getting into, that's right, part 2 of the first Israelites. And we're going to start off with something you're familiar with, the 10 Commandments. On their way back they left Egypt. Where do they go? I just said it. I just sang it. That's right. They went to Canaan. The Israelites had to travel through a desert. Anybody remember the name of this desert? I know you do. It starts with the S. The Sinai Desert. The Bible says that during this journey, Moses went to the top of, where did he find the top of something? And you're in the desert? All right, that's right. On a mountain, Mount Sinai. There he received, what did he receive? He received laws from God. Look at that, from God. Look at that. He received laws from God. These laws were known as what were they known as? They were known as you would say 10 Commandments, but we think maybe he got more than that. All right, the Torah. All right, they later became the first part of the Hebrew Bible. All right, the Torah described the word is a covenant. All right, or agreement, but with God. In the agreement, God promised to return the Israelites to Canaan if they followed what did he get on Mount Sinai? His laws. The Torah explained what God considered to be right and what he considered to be wrong. The most important part of the Torah is the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments told the Israelites to be loyal only to God, whose name was never to be spoken. They must not worship any other gods or images. The belief that there should only be one God became the foundation for both Christianity and Islam and Judaism. The 10 Commandments helped shape the basic moral laws of, and still help today, many nations. The 10 Commandments told people not to steal, not to murder, or tell lies about others. They told people to avoid jealousy and to honor their parents. The 10 Commandments also help develop a belief in the rule of law. This is the idea that laws should apply to everybody equally. That's right. Now, that takes us to our next topic. Now let's talk in particular the other name of Canaan. It's called the Promised Land. It probably took the Israelites about 40 years to reach Canaan after they escaped from slavery. So Egypt was once my home. I was a slave, and I'm living in Canaan now. All right, Moses never lived to see the Promised Land. Think about it. You start on a 40-year journey. If you were older when you started, you're probably not going to make it to the end. the children of the enslaved Israelites will see the promised land, but most of the leaders will not. After Moses died, a leader named, anybody know his name? His name Josh? His name's Joshua. Only his friends called him Josh. Took over and brought the Israelites into Canaan. When they arrived, however, they found other people living there. Most were Canaanites. The Israelites believed it was God's will that they conquer the Canaanites. So Joshua led them into battle. The story of the campaign is told in the Bible. Joshua led the Israelites to the city of Jericho and told them to march around the city's walls for, does anybody know how many days? Anybody know how many days? 6 days. They marched while 7 priests blew it's an instrument, their trumpets. On the 7th day, the trumpets sounded one last time, and Joshua told the Israelites to raise a great, you could say roar, I'm going to write the word shout, they had to yell. According to the story, the walls of Jericho crumbled, and the Israelites overran the city. Joshua led the Israelites in 3 more wars. The land they received was divided among the 12 tribes. There's a place in Alabama called the Walls of Jericho. Very beautiful. Remind me, we'll look at it in a second. All right, second to last topic. Who were the fighting judges? After Joshua died, the Israelites looked to judges for leadership. A judge was usually a military leader. Generally, he or she commanded 1 or 2 tribes, but seldom all 12. The Bible tells about Barak, Gideon, Samuel, Eli, Samson, and others, including a woman judge. Her name was, all right, anybody know her name? Anybody know her name? Her name was Deborah. Deborah the judge. Over time, the Israelites won control of the hilly region in central, all right, where do they end up going? What's the promised land's name? Canaan. The Canaanites kept the flat, where would be all flat? Coastal areas. To protect themselves, the Israelites built, all right, walled towns. They also created an alphabet and a calendar based on Canaanite ideas. All right, last topic, we're talking about a separate group of people called the Phoenicians. One group of Canaanites, there it is right in front of you, the Phoenicians, lived in cities along the Mediterranean Sea. And these Phoenicians are very interesting. I'll show you why. Phoenicians were skilled sailors and traders. They liked the water. They liked the beach. Their ships carried goods across the Mediterranean to Greece, to Spain, and even Western Africa. They were travelers. Through trade, the Phoenicians spread, all right, they'd go and they'd talk to folks. So they spread ideas and the goods that they carried. One of the most important ideas was an alphabet, or a group of letters that stood for, what is an alphabet? Each letter stands for sounds. All right, the letters could be used to spell out the words in their language. The alphabet made, it's easy to write words, it made writing simpler and helped people keep records. Phoenicians brought the idea of an alphabet to the Greeks. They in turn passed it on to the Romans. Most, this is like ours, but the word is Western alphabets are based on the Roman alphabet itself. That is right. All right, guys. Please go ahead and answer the questions at the bottom, and we'll be getting in our groups. Hope you're excited about it, learning about the first Israelites. Let's see how much time we got here. Not long. Yes, all right, guys. About out of here. It's been good. Hope to answer all these questions. It's been fun hanging out with you. Captain America's out of here. Maybe I'll see you again some other time.